Hey guys, in this video I actually am featuring a foundation that I love, so if you want to learn more, keep watching. And then there's also some skincare tips for how to beat some winter dead buildup skin. So keep watching if you want to learn. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I actually was thinking about some of my favorite foundations, and a lot of the videos I have made so far feature the ones that I probably use the most on myself or things that I actually keep in my professional makeup kit for work. I wanted to touch base on one that I really love. It is the Face and Body by MAC. This is great because it actually looks like skin and has a nice lightweight coverage, but you can build it up to medium if you choose. So I wanted to really talk about these guys as the hero product today. I'm going to show you how to use that. But before I jump in and get started on this, I also wanted to talk about winter skin. I know that I've been really noticing my skin has been feeling really dull. I'm noticing a lot of dead buildup. My moisturizers just feel like they're not working great. Foundation feels funny. So I wanted to briefly just touch on a couple products that I really love to use. Most people don't really know to exfoliate the skin. It's interesting being a makeup artist and working with people for as long as I have. I ask people what their makeup routine is and then their skincare routine. Most people don't really exfoliate the skin. Sometimes they say they use a washcloth, maybe a scrub, but I actually want to talk about this product. This is by an Italian skincare line. It's called Comfort Zone. It's owned by the Davines brand, who also makes hair care. These guys have worked really closely with 4 different doctors to design the skincare line, pretty much as clean as you can get as far as non-toxic, no animal derivatives, no parabens, no mineral oils. So this brand is really great. These peel pads I love. It has alpha hydroxy acid, which is just a natural sugar acid. It actually helps to speed up the cellular turnover of your skin, so it really helps to remove dead buildup. This particular box contains 14 peel pads, individually wrapped. This also has quite a bit of hyaluronic acids, 3 different size molecules, so it's really like hitting all the different layers of the skin. And what that product does, it naturally occurs in our skin, hyaluronic acid. It actually helps to plump and retain more water in the skin, which in turn keeps you from being more dehydrated. So we really want to try and keep that water in our cells. So hyaluronic acid is also a really great product to look for when you're feeling dehydrated and actually just all year round. This is a great treatment. 14 peel pads. You do it every other night for a month for like an intensive treatment. But sometimes I like to use these maybe just twice a week just to kind of really keep that dead skin at bay. Brightens the skin, helps to break up pigmentation issues. If the skin is feeling dull, these pretty much are like your best bet. These don't actually feel drying on the skin. I like to do this at night. Swipe it over. Once you kind of feel that the solution is pretty much off and the peel pad's starting to feel a little bit dry, and then go ahead in with your favorite moisturizer or maybe even like an intensive reparative mask. One of my other favorite products is the WELEDA Skin Food. This is wonderful. You can find this at Whole Foods. They also have a great website. I gotta say, this stuff is really, really almost like reparative. It's great for rough, dry skin, but it also makes a really great intensive mask if you want to go ahead and apply it at night. It's pretty thick, so you do want to warm it up and then almost pat it into the skin, start to warm it before you can really start moving it. It is pretty thick. I even love this too, just really lightly in the morning if I just want my skin to have a nice kind of sheen. Another favorite. Side note, when you're doing any sort of acids on the skin, you want to use an SPF. I love the COOLA Sport. It's an SPF 50. I love this brand as far as an SPF goes. So enough boring talk. I don't know. If you guys have favorite products, let me know what you're using as far as exfoliants or what you're doing to resurface your skin, or if you don't really know and you have some questions. I have my aesthetics license, so I definitely can help recommend. And also, if you want to hear more about skincare, leave me a comment, let me know. Again, my channel's fairly new, so I'm still kind of figuring out what people are liking, what they're interested in. For me, it's just a fun creative outlet, and I just like to kind of try and educate. So that's kind of where I'm coming from is from that standpoint for being creative and also educational as well. Let's go ahead and jump into this. I am going to start off with skin. This is my main goal. I'm mainly featuring MAC eyeshadows today and then a few other things. So we'll just see where this takes us. But Face and Body is a great foundation. It's lightweight, it's sheer, but you can build it up. The best way to use this product, because it is very liquidy, when you apply it, I actually first like to start out with my fingers. And you want to rub this pretty vigorously, because as soon as you start doing that, you'll notice after you start rubbing this, the consistency starts to turn almost like a cream. So I'm warming it up until I can kind of feel that it starts to change, and it's right now starting to. So I'm going in, now I can feel that it's actually a little bit more creamy in texture. This always looks like skin. This actually is even really great for, let's say you want really nice, perfect looking skin. You don't want it to look too heavy. I actually sometimes even like to use this almost as like a priming foundation in a way. Go in, it kind of evens everything out. It gives kind of a nice little sheen and glow. That's definitely the finish, is more skin-like. So, and I really like work it into the skin. And then you can take a fuller coverage foundation over the top of it, and this almost kind of feels a little bit tacky. So to me, it's kind of fun as like a priming foundation. Just kind of evens the skin out. So again, really rubbing, and then you will feel this product actually start to get a little bit creamy. I'm putting this everywhere. And then I'll make sure to take a brush and just kind of go right over this area just to get that nice and blended into the hairline. The color I'm using is C3. It's has a little bit more of a yellow undertone, but I love this one. I just want the skin to be natural. And since I am doing a little bit of the resurfacing right now, I went ahead and put my SPF on because this does not contain SPF. I'm just gonna take this brush and just kind of make sure to get these little seams right into the hairline blended. And you can just keep layering this, but it doesn't ever really become super full. I'm using C6. I'm going to take a little brush from Real Techniques, just a little bit on the back of the hand. A little bit of concealer just to brighten. I'm going to go in with a little bit of a fuller concealer, and I don't want to use much. This is really full, but I do want to just add a brightness there. Just a few areas where I want some brightness. And I'm first going to go in with a little small brush. I'm bringing this one up a little through here because I don't want this too dark. You want that a little bit brighter. And with this one, I'm just kind of highlighting right under the eyes, and then I'm going to go ahead and take damp sponge, blend it and push it in the area that I want the highlight to be, to kind of really work that in. That way we add a little brightness here. And I'm trying not to use too much powders today because, again, I feel like in winter I prefer less powder. I'm going to go in and do kind of a nice soft kind of smoky eye using brown that's kind of, it has a little bit of a reddish kind of shimmer to it, but I'm going to go ahead and start off with a Marc Jacobs pencil as just my base for underneath the eyeshadow. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to blend this out. And then I'm going to go right in with my eyeshadow color, which, let me go ahead and just grab you. This is a MAC eyeshadow, antique, kind of reddish tone to it. And then I think I'm going to do a pink cheek and pink lips. So just pick that up, and I'm concentrating that on the lid. I'm just pushing that and patting it into place. Probably change it to a fluffy brush. I'm going to go ahead and take a color called Texture, kind of a saddle shade, and I'm just going to take a tiny little bit on this brush because I actually don't want much. I want the antique color to be my main focus, so I'm basically just using this to be kind of your transition. So pretty simple. I think this is pretty much going to be the look. I'm going to add a little bit of eyeliner just to give some definition, but I don't even think I'm going to do too much of a highlight under the brow. Sometimes I like natural, no kind of shine under there. Back into the antique shade. with a little fluffy brush. That brown is called texture. Make sure that this is looking symmetrical as far as how far I've pulled this up. Now I'm going to go in and do a little bit more definition. This is the Marc Jacobs. These are really great because they are smudge proof and waterproof. If you do want to blend it out, you want to move fairly quick because it does dry pretty fast. So there's not a whole lot of play time. And I'm focusing this pretty close to the lash line. I don't want a heavy amount of this. So I'm just taking an angled brush and just kind of softening the edges. I feel like I've kind of steer away from using a lot of black nowadays, but sometimes if you want the eyes to really have definition, that's the best way to do it, is go in with a little bit of black. I just do small little strokes because I want this blended. You want to get in fairly quickly after applying it. I'm going to also take this and tight line underneath. Gives kind of a cleaner effect. I'm really just kind of working it into the roots. I don't think I want to do much underneath. A bit of the texture eyeshadow, which is kind of that saddle brown. I'm going to go in with a little bit of a thicker mascara. This is the Extreme Dimension by MAC. Going to go in and add some blush and lipstick. Makeup is about details and kind of how everything looks at the end. It all kind of comes together. I'm literally just going to take my brush and just on the tip, I'm literally like patting those into place, and then just kind of blending that out. Okay, I like that. Let's go in and do a little bit of a blush. I'm going to go in with a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. It's called Beauty. It comes in this really pretty package and it's magnetized. And these are so pretty. It literally looks like velvet, the texture on the outside. And then they are such a nice creamy finish on the lip, but they are all matte. I'm going to use the brush I use for warming my skin up. Grab a tiny little bit on my brush, and then I smile. And just kind of softly like buff that. I love actually doing lips and cheeks in the same color, if you haven't noticed. It's pretty, and I feel like it goes really nicely with the eyes with this kind of reddish tone. Go in with the lipstick. I also have a little bit of a lip pencil just from the drugstore. It's kind of just like a pinky nude. Making sure the edges are nice and defined. Favorite. Just feel like it really gives the skin more of a skin-like finish. Big drink of water. You guys haven't tried Face and Body's foundation. A pleasant surprise, really, because it's just lightweight, easy to use. I really like that you can work it in with your fingers. And that's the best way to use this foundation, is to really feel the transformation from when it goes to a really liquid to something that's almost kind of slightly creamy. As soon as you warm it up and heat it up, then you can just kind of press it and then like work it into the skin. It was fun to just showcase how you could use the shade that you normally are with something a little bit darker to just kind of use as your bronzer and still kind of keep that kind of glowy skin-like texture. What other highlights? Oh my gosh. I mean, if you haven't heard of this brand, these are awesome. So winter must-haves, I feel like if you live in a dry climate, if you are somebody who's naturally kind of normal to dry and aging as well, I'll be turning 42 in March and trying to just kind of maintain and keep my skin from looking like it's basically textured with dead skin. It's really key that you're exfoliating. That's really important. And then also proper hydration and hydrating the skin. Makeup is a great source for giving me a little pickup. So Hope you like this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Any suggestions, comments, I'm here to help, give advice, or just if you like to watch videos. So either way, thanks for joining me. All right, see you next time.